everybody, this is Sportman16, and for this video I want to talk about one thing that I pretty much have been enjoying ever since I started doing so for quite a few years now, and well, that's pretty much Anime St. Louis. Why do I want to talk about this? It's really something that I don't want to talk about too terribly much. I mean, I mention it in a video here and there, but I want to make this video pretty much talk about Anime St. Louis and what is it that I just love so much about it. So, basically, when it comes to Anime St. Louis, I really just enjoy myself all the time. And well, pretty much I've been doing so ever since I started going to Anime St. Louis all the way back in 2011. And let me tell you, I've enjoyed it ever since. Even though technically Anime St. Louis 2011 wasn't my first anime convention, that was actually Natsucon all the way back in 2010. But yeah, been going to Anime St. Louis since 2011. And well, ever since I started going there, it's pretty much become my yearly anime convention, and I am still having my hopes of going to Anime St. Louis for 2020. But again, I still have good chances. Because for me, it's just as long as I get pre-registered for the event, I'm pretty much all set for that point. But anyway, what is it about Anime St. Louis that I enjoy so much? Well, almost everything about it. Because basically just going to the amazing venue where the con is held, which basically before 2016, I believe, Anime St. Louis was always held at the Gateway Center, which was all the way out in Collinsville, Illinois, which for me was a good long drive away, say about good 40, 45, maybe even 50 minutes away. And once it got to 2016, Anime St. Louis decided to change venues from the Gateway Center in Collinsville, Illinois, to the St. Charles Convention Center, which, when I first heard that, I was truly relieved to know that when seeing where the St. Charles Convention Center was, realizing it was practically half the distance, which meaning half the time traveled, so that was pretty amazing. But yeah, one of the biggest things that I like about Anime St. Louis, or basically just anime conventions in general, is basically the cosplays. Because let me tell you, I just absolutely love cosplays. Though, truth be told, when I was going to Anime St. Louis for the first time, I actually tried cosplaying myself, excuse me. I just didn't feel comfortable doing it. Cause pretty much the only cosplay that I tried to do was, Rourke, who is the first Pokemon gym leader in Generation 4, because he was basically one character that kind of looked like me. So I tried that, and well, I mean, the outfit itself was fine. It's just the fact I really just didn't like wearing a wig, because it really irritated my head. So pretty much after my first Anime St. Louis, I just decided that cosplaying is not my thing. So I decided to take a different route. Instead of being a cosplayer, why not take pictures of cosplayers? And well, kind of set off from there. Because, to tell you all the truth, I really enjoy taking pictures of cosplays. Whether it be simple to complex, I just love it. So much, in fact, that I really just took up on cosplay photography. Well, I guess I could pretty much say at this point I'm still pretty much an amateur cosplay photographer. And I hope to one day, improve on it, get better camera technology in order to get better shots. So, I pray for that day. Because when it comes to cosplay photography, it's just an amazing thing. Just to be able to take pictures of cosplayers who... It's really not surprising of cosplayers who made these cosplays, but, well, some of them do make their cosplays. Sometimes they just buy their cosplays on online stores, but hey, there ain't no problems here. But when it comes to people who actually make cosplays, I definitely do give them... I do give them their dedication. Because when it comes to making cosplays, sometimes cosplays that I've seen, I would not have been surprised if it took them like days, weeks, months, or even years just to make them. And I just give them their dedication for knowing how much they put in to make these cosplays possible, whether they are simple or complex. And granted, there are the cases of times where I see a cosplay and I don't recognize the character one bit, or I never even knew this character even existed. But overall, I just enjoy it. Because when it comes to seeing cosplays at anime conventions, you really don't know exactly what you're going to see. Because there could be some cases you'll be seeing a cosplay that you honestly wouldn't have thought you would be able to see. Like maybe say someone dressing up as say the Powerpuff Girls, or in this case maybe a Star Wars character you never would have expected. Or I really can't think of any others that would be unexpected to see. And yeah, one of the other kind of cosplays that I tend to enjoy a bit is, well, I will say furries. Because don't get me wrong, I have absolutely nothing against furries. Because really, honestly, I have no reason to have anything against furries. Because sometimes I kind of enjoy furries. Because at ASTL, earlier this year in 2019, there was one really cool, amazing furry that I saw, which was all yellow in color, looking all ferocious with big claws, nasty teeth, and all that. I really wish I would have gotten a picture of that, but that's all fine. But yeah, I just love cosplays. And one thing that I do want to mention is that there has been one thing when it comes to cosplays that I just can't stand at all. And it's really not the cosplayers themselves. It's basically people who decide to bash, ridicule, and shame cosplayers. That is something that I cannot stand. Basically cosplay shaming. I tell you, that is just one thing that I just can't stand. Because it's basically when some people have the nerve to say oh, you can't cosplay this character because so and so, or you can't cosplay that cosplayer because so and so. Like, I'm saying, like if a skinny person cosplays someone who is like overweight, or an overweight person cosplaying a character who is skinny. People who decide to go and shame that person because of their body shape. That's just plain stupid. Or like if there was like a cosplayer who is white in color who cosplays as a character who is originally basically colored, or basically what I'm saying is a person who is white who is cosplaying a character who is originally black, and vice versa, and someone decides to shame them for that, or like saying like some kind of stupid racist comment or something. It's like it just irks me. It just gets me so angry. Because this is something that I would like to say to the cosplay shamers. You people need to understand this. Cosplay is for everyone. Like anyone at any age, of any gender, of any race. Seriously, cosplay is for everyone. No matter who they are. And if you can't learn to accept that, then just get your scrawny little butt out of here, because no one wants to hear what you have to say. Seriously. That's all I have to say. Cosplay shaming is a terrible thing, and I really wish it didn't exist. But anyway, to be rid of the negative, to bring back more of the positive, what is some other things about anime conventions that I like so much? Well, the panels. Though, granted for me, throughout the times that I've been going to Anime St. Louis, I never really attend, like, really too many panels, but I've attended some here and there. Because if y'all was seen, like, a video that I did back in 2016 where I went to what was known as the Shanine Sisters panel, which was really enjoyable, by the way. It was just a lot of fun. Because, I mean, panels are just fun. And as I pretty much mentioned back when I was talking about ASTL earlier this year in 2019, that I went to Liz's panel, which was a pun tournament panel. I mean, it was still pretty fun to go there, and just basically to show my support to a good friend. And again, I look forward to seeing if she can be able to pull off an 18+ pun panel. Yeah, that does also remind me of ASTL the previous year in 2018, where I actually went to I do believe they call it burlesque panel, I believe, where it was called Dirty Dancing Dolls, which that was personally more for me, because, well, I think you pretty much all know the reasons. And I'll just leave it at that. Yeah. I think if I do go to Anime St. Louis next year, I'm going to see if maybe I could possibly attend more panels. So, yeah. Now, another thing about Anime St. Louis that I do tend to enjoy, not to the greatest extent, but still enjoyable nonetheless, is basically the dealer's room, or in this case, the big old stinking room where you can buy merchandise. Let me tell you, it's always nice to really see what kind of merchandise there is available. Whether it's shirts, prints, different kinds of like models, figures, and all that. And for the past recent years, I did buy some stuff from Anime St. Louis Dealer's Room or Exhibit Hall, whatever you want to call it. I think it's mainly just called the Dealer's Room. Like back in 2016, I believe it was, that I bought a poster of Godzilla and basically a three poster set of Attack on Titan. And yeah, I will admit that I am a little bit of a Attack on Titan fan, though I only watched like the first season and not the other two. Though I have seen tidbits of the other two seasons, but Attack on Titan is not my most preferred anime, but I'll just leave it at that. Anyway, then when it came to, I believe, either 2017 or 18, I basically purchased a bit of a more, I guess you can say, kinky sort of figure, which was that of, I do believe her name is Yoko Linter. Basically, having like a big red ponytail, using a big old snap rifle, and basically wearing like black shorts that expose half her booty. But like I said, it was just something that I wanted personally more for me because, well, I'm 26 years old. I can purchase whatever I want. And basically for ASTL for this year, I basically bought little figures of monsters from Monster Hunter. Because, well, thanks to my sister, who kind of in a way introduced me to the Monster Hunter series, I really just became a big fan of Monster Hunter. And hopefully sometime in the future I can get some more Monster Hunter merchandise. Because, well, like I said, I really do like Monster Hunter now. Even though it wasn't until Generations Ultimate that I actually played it. But anyway. Yeah, just the merchandise that I see there is just amazing. And the prints that I see there are just, wow, amazing work. Because not only do I enjoy photography, I do tend to enjoy some art as well. Which is something that I have been doing for myself for the past few years, basically on DeviantArt. And if you guys are actually interested in seeing the kind of art that I make on DeviantArt, which is basically creating art through the use of 3D modeling, I believe I'll put a link down in the description to link you guys to my DeviantArt, onto my DeviantArt account, and you guys can be able to see the kinds of art that I make there. And yeah, I still have much more work to come whenever ideas pop into my head. Because basically when it comes to making my art on DeviantArt, it's just basically whatever just pops into my head that I think would be good. Anyway, one of the next things that I would like to mention about ASTL that I enjoy some of the time, but not all the time, is, well, the guests. And the guests can pretty much range from basically very popular, well-known cosplayers, to artists, to even voice actors and actresses. And yeah, and again, like when it comes to cosplays, you never know who you're going to expect to see in terms of their guests. And one that I will say that was back at ASTL in, I think it was 2016, where one guest that they brought in, I never would have expected to come to Anime St. Louis. And that was actually none other than Weiss Shanine's voice actress, Kara Eberl. When I first heard that announcement, that basically the Shanine sisters' voice actresses are going to be there, I almost flipped my lid. Like, I almost burst out in a fangasm. And I was absolutely excited to be able to meet a voice, or basically two voice actresses from RWBY. And I still could not believe that when I approached up to Kara and she saw my free hug shirt, that the fact that she actually hugged me, I automatically said to myself, best ASTL ever. Which, it was just me reacting in my head at that point. And I still really enjoy getting their autographs and basically getting video clips of them doing their voices. And overall, it was just fun times all around. But yeah, basically when it comes to the guests, people just really just love to see what they want as guests. Like a pretty much particularly well-known voice actor or actress, or a well-known cosplayer. And yeah. But more or less for me, it's like only about a little bit of the time that they actually do announce a guest that I would like to see. And that's pretty much that. Anything else of ASTL that I tend to enjoy? Though, I will say the one thing that I do enjoy is that for Anime St. Louis, when they first moved to the St. Charles Convention Center, is that not only did they use the convention floor of the main convention center to do their things, but they also took some of their stuff and moved it to the main hotel, which is the Embassy Suites, which is basically their main hotel because, well, pretty much the hotel is literally connected to the main convention floor. So yeah, and trust me, I've been in the Embassy Suite multiple times, and let me tell you, very beautiful looking hotel. It was just unfortunate that I didn't get a hotel room there earlier this year, because, well, things happened. Like, yeah, basically personal things happened between friends, and, well, the hotel room didn't happen. So I'm kind of hoping that if I do go to ASTL next year, that one of the two things happen. That either one, my parents get me a hotel room for myself, or I actually talk with my friends more frequently to get a hotel room. Because again, when it was getting close to ASTL hotel talk, things were just a big old stinking mess. That's all I have to say. So, I do believe that is everything that I do want to talk about when it comes to Anime St. Louis. Basically, I just love the venue that they've done over the past recent years. Loving all the cosplayers I get to see and get pictures of. And again, hopefully I can be able to improve myself into cosplay photography and take better, higher quality images, but only time will tell on that. Love some of the panels. At times, love seeing the guests. Also, just love seeing the merchandise that I could be able to purchase there. Even though when it comes to the dealer's room, that the alleyways can be quite crowded, but hey, what do you expect? And the fact that it just feels like for each ASTL, more and more attendees keep showing up. Because from what I heard, that ASTL early this year in 2019 saw a record-breaking 6,000 plus attendees. Yeah, 6,000 plus. And I would not be surprised for ASTL in 2020, which I'll pretty much say this now for anybody who doesn't know yet, that Anime St. Louis for their 15th year will be, well, once again at the St. Charles Convention Center, and the date for Anime St. Louis 2020 will be May 1st through the 3rd. So be sure to mark your calendars for that. Because, well, I pretty much already have. Well, I don't really have like a physical calendar, but a mental calendar. But yeah. Yeah, just overall, I really love Anime St. Louis, and I will hopefully continue to keep going to Anime St. Louis until I basically just can't go anymore. Which, God only knows when that happens. I just hope it's not going to be for next year. Because if I can at least go to Anime St. Louis for 2020, and if I don't go for 2021, I think I would actually be fine with that. Oh yeah, there is one other thing that I forgot to mention when it comes to going to anime conventions, personally for me, is getting the opportunity to meet up with some old friends. Cause they're just like the kind of friends that I only see like once a year. And for me, it was basically the friends that I was hanging out with like quite a few years ago when the St. Louis Mills Mall was still a lively place, and the fact that I used to go there like every Friday night to hang out with friends. And it was just really good times. It's like basically we hung out there during the night until it got to closing time. But it was rather unfortunate that as the St. Louis Mills Mall, or as it's known as today, the St. Louis Outlet Mall, started to, die, basically everybody just stopped going. And then once I knew that everybody just stopped going to the Mills or the Outlet Mall anymore, it was pretty much evident that my times at the St. Louis Outlet Mall was done. But I still see them at Anime St. Louis. Well, I would say like maybe 3 or 4 of them. And like I said in my talk of Anime St. Louis 2019, it was still really fun to hang out with the friend that I did become friends with more recently, which was Ren. It was still nice to hang out with her and all that. And if I do go to ASTL for next year, and if she does too, we basically just look forward to seeing each other again. Because, yeah, when I was basically waiting for her on that Friday night, she basically sent me the message of how excited she was to be looking forward to seeing me again. But yeah. So anyway, I think that'll pretty much do it for talking about Anime St. Louis in general. And again, I hopefully look forward to going to Anime St. Louis for 2020. And hopefully things will be better hotel-wise for 2020, but I'll just have to wait and see. So thank y'all so much for watching, and well, I'll be seeing you guys, well, whenever I decide to upload something else, which I don't know when that'll be. So, see you guys later.